AFenyo Markin yesterday pleaded, if I call him, ask him whether he didn't plead yesterday that he will present him this morning at 10 o'clock.
The political structure of the country is gradually reducing our credibility as a nation. How our politicians, how they do behave, how they sometimes say some things and then make some comments. In fact, because sometimes you could see a person who goes by the name Honorable, but ever since Reverend Ntimfojo made an allegation against the government about drug trafficking and also money laundering. Now, as I'm talking to you, there has been a lot of issues surrounding this whole thing. Now, the former MP for Ododo, yes, which is Lantey, I hope you remember when the former president of the state, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, said, "Se wo to aba ni Lantey Vanderboy," and I say, "Hey man, can you cry?" Ampa, indeed, ni Lantey edinanwa to nsemne ekosuno, and then whatever he's saying, they say, in fact, AFenyo Markins, the allegations Nana Woye wa bonting as a watcher mayeni na obwa Tamai Pacho. AFenyo Markins pleaded on the behalf of Reverend Ntimfojo, Sevena NIB for no answer, and then he AFenyo Markins will present Reverend Ntimfojo. So if this allegation is true there, then we can say that the behavior of the NPP sometimes it is dangerous because they wanted to create a scene. So according to Neil and Vanderpool, and some can say AFenyo Markins pleaded on the behalf of Ntimfojo, and then this time around, the NPP sometimes they do things so because in the year 2000, ever since Kufuor took over, the behavior of the NPP towards the NDC was very, very sad. And then they took it, said, "Oh, so president, which is the late president Atamils, also set a certain standard, said, father for all." But it seems like the behavior of the NPP almost a sad that so this time around, a boot for boot, and then Bonibi NPP for they are going to do the same to them. This is the BJ show with Boatin Josan. Kindly do want to subscribe, share the link, tell others about the BJ show. Now let us listen to Neil Lantey Vanderpool.
AFenyo Markin yesterday pleaded, if I call him, ask him whether he didn't plead yesterday that he will present him this morning at 10 o'clock. That is what led to the abrogation of the operation. Other than that, all of them will have spent the night in a vigil in his house to prevent the security from exercising their responsibility.
Because an arrest operation properly so constituted should have gone through.
That's what I'm saying. Because he pleaded and because we are a listening government, we are not like the MPP who will go to a church where Chatuchikata and the wife were worshipping and will still pluck them out like mangoes from a tree. In spite of the protestations of the clergy. Jerry Rawlings was invited. He responded. Honorable Yiti Mensah was arrested like a cock. Side scenario, the same. Just recently, wasn't Bobby arrested in his studio for daring to talk about government's complicity in land acquisition? Wasn't Mensah Thompson arrested like an armed robber because he dared to talk about the president's children using the presidential aircraft? What are we talking about here? The Akama will say, what have we seen in this country?
So for you, nothing on what happened yesterday?
No. Look, what I will say here is that, look, I'm happy Seth mentioned that he sat in that position Ntimfojo is sitting in.
That's what, 8 years ago?
Yes, last week I asked him, would he have conducted himself the way Ntimfojo is conducting himself? When you have made a pronouncement, and the pronouncement is yet to be proven, and you've been queried about it, do you go about repeating those pronouncements? You understand? Repeating those announcements on various media. Would you do that? 2, would he have exercised those opportunities and channels open to him as a ranking member of parliament? instead of what Ntim Fodjo did. I know him. There were so many instances of this issue where he conducted himself appropriately, the way an MP should conduct himself. Because we, as MP, we have opportunities to seek a sort of information. Even an ordinary Ghanaian, it has the right to RTI.
Yeah.
So if you've done this, and you yourself, you know, you've put out there false information, because he says it's suspicion. How can you just go on a tangent of a suspicion and you say now you are inviting people to come and brief you? What right are you exercising without your committee of parliament? Ask him. I've been a ranking member before, I've been a chairman of a committee before. Both sides, the leadership of the committee will agree that let's have this meeting. It can be a request from any member to the leadership. And when it's so agreed, then we do that. But you can't go and make pronouncements out there, and now you call security agencies to come and brief you. Brief you as who? As what?
As a ranking member on the committee.
A ranking member doesn't work alone.
The minority says he spoke on their behalf.
What I'm saying that the minority alone cannot call for that meeting. He's here. Ask him whether the minority will request for a meeting through the chairman of the committee and the clerk. That's the parliamentary procedure. You think that any minority can ask for a briefing, majority can, then how are we going to manage information and such sensitive information from the security services? If the defense and interior committee on the minority will ask for a meeting, and the majority will also ask for a meeting, and those briefings could vary depending on situations. So how do we have a cohesive message as a group? So what I'm saying here is that, look, somebody must advise him to Fodjo, and I will let AFenyo Market to exercise that opportunity given him today, 10 o'clock. He must present Ntim Fodjo for the questioning that is supposed to be questioned, so that we can all have our peace. Because what they did yesterday was unruly and was total disrespect to the security services. And I heard one of the people talking about what? Warrant. Check the Public Offences Act. A police officer from the rank of a superintendent can effect an arrest without a warrant. You mean when a police officer sees somebody committing a crime, he must go for a warrant before he arrests the person? You understand?
Yeah.
And this one, you have been invited. All this invitation is nothing.
He's denied receiving any invitation.
The invitation was extended to him through his minority leader. Ask him. Through his minority leader. And two, let me say this. Me, between 2017, January to August, I visited the police headquarters more than 13 times. I visited Yoko more than 5 times. I had NIB in my house, then BNI.
On what grounds?
Said no's. Said no's. I didn't know what I had done. And you're talking about people's houses. Didn't Abronye, with all that his dental formation.
Oh no, we'll take it easy.
Enter my house, harass my wife and children over a presumed car. So these things have happened. You see, what was saying is the fact that when it happens to anybody from the MPP, then hell must break loose. But when it happens to anybody from the NDC, we are not human beings.
Oh, no,
so those things should not be talked about.
Tangent, then it feeds into the narrative of the tit for tat and eye for an eye.
I'm saying that. If it was right when they did it,
it is right.
It cannot be wrong today. They cannot claim it to be wrong today. Why do you think? Are they special human beings? Are they better than us? If we all agree, if we are saying that it is all right, then from today, let all of us learn from it.
But will 2 wrongs make a right?
What are you talking about? Was it right when they did it to Chachu Chikata?
And you were not happy then?
Because before then, we had opportunity to do that. We did it. Look, Professor Mills came to set an example.
So
when they did all those things, Professor Mills came and we said, no. No. Father for all, let it be. Ask him. Accept that we even had their people stay in office for 6 months. Some of their chief executives. Because we thought that let the past be in the past. But in spite of those beautiful, magnanimous situations we created, they didn't see it as something good enough to help us repair the image of governance. They still went after us brutally. What didn't happen to Sam George at Ayawaso West Wogon? Did they consider that he was an MP? Did they? Even that one, when the white paper has been issued, the government still did not even punish the people who were involved. I wouldn't say two wrongs make a right, but sometimes you need to tell somebody that the blood that runs through his veins is the same blood that runs through yours. So he cannot be treated specially, and you will be treated like trash. Look,
you see, what we've managed to do is to create controversies around this matter and leave the actual issue. We haven't dealt with whether or not indeed...
From 10 o'clock this morning, I'm sure the actual issue will be dealt with if Intim Virtual becomes civil enough.
If the minority leader begged that he would present the Asen South MP today at 10 a.m., what concessions were made on your part?
Yeah, so we agreed that we are holding we are holding him to his word, and if he doesn't, we shall pluck him from his house.
Because you see, there are concerns that there are instances where persons have been invited, they attend upon the invitation, and they are arrested.
When you attend upon invitation, the police takes your statement. The police have the right to decide that whether the statement you give is enough for them to charge you, and when they charge you, it's either they keep you or you'll be granted self-recognizance bail. It's the right of the police. You understand? You are invited. You write your statement. They question you. When they question you, the answers you will give will tell the police what action to take next. Whether to charge you formally and whether they should let you go on a bail. So I don't think there's anything wrong with Intim Virtual presenting himself to the police. He is lucky, he is privileged as a member of parliament. He will be considered, maybe he will give an opportunity to go home and report to the police. Some of us went through that. And I'm saying that once he's been invited, he should honor that invitation. Because if you don't honor it, you are showing gross disrespect to the security agencies. And they are mandated by law to take any action necessary to make sure you respect the law. That's all. He must be a responsible citizen and respond to the invitation. Just as any member. Look, what happened to Jechi Kwesi?
Yesterday he was acquitted and discharged.
Yes, but before then?
Accused of perjury.
Didn't they send policemen, armored vehicle to his house? Didn't they? He was lucky he was in parliament then.
Yeah.
So he made it from parliament, we have to escort him to the police headquarters. So, series of these issues have happened. That shouldn't make somebody see this as a novelty. But the way the MPP are dramatizing this thing as if this is the first time we've seen it in our body politics, and as such, the NDC. And I want to tell Seth, the NDC government will not willfully, intentionally silence its critics. Look, what's our criticism having people leading? Right now, 3 months.
Actually.
Yeah, I'm saying that they are setting an agenda because a lot of their people, they are aware because of ORA and because of other investigations. A lot of their people have been conducted themselves. Look, let me give you an example.
Is the ORA targeting their people only?
The ORA is targeting those who have been in office and misconducted themselves. So he said, sitting here, if he has not done anything, why should he be worried? It's a Safo who sat on television and said, if she had done what they asked her to do, by this time, she will also be having sleepless nights like them. you understand?
They're having sleepless nights.
Yeah, she said it. I didn't say it. I just said it. He said some of them are having sleepless nights. But because she didn't do what they asked her to do, she's okay. She's having a peaceful sleep. So Seth is in here, I know he's been having a peaceful sleep. You understand? Yeah. Because he's sure that he has not misconducted himself in any way. So why would Ora go after him? Or why would somebody want to arrest him?
So that's the former MP for Ododio and some of the two Janono. You know, when this man was talking, you could see he said that some emotions be what do you say, Omaya and Bonibiama, a kana angasa. But this time around, it is not about revenge being a Bianipani take care and I say, no. This time around, we want accountability. And then the behavior of the NPP try and say, because on. Now, last year, I told you people said, they would do me because somebody will use the same thing against you. And then, Senipane, yeah, at that time, a problem. But Vim, what the NPP did, the same thing and this is 4%. By this time around, they are trying to escape. But this is the BJ show with What's in Josan. Like the video, share, and also subscribe for me.